Hello and welcome to today's special edition of Celtic Rumours TV, the Scottish Cup special. Today with myself and Mark, and we'll have United Ireland John from the phone with us today from 2:30 to kick off. We will have a brief conversation about the match. I will be going solo for a watchalong, and Mark and myself will be joined again by. We'll be joined together again at half time where we do our weekly draw for a €50 voucher, and a great thanks to Rob Roy for the show. After the match, we'll be joined by JFP, John, known as Two Guys on the forum. JFP on the forum. So, on with the show. Mark, John, welcome to the show again today.
Thanks a lot,
Your thoughts on the match? How do you think we're going to go today?
Hopefully we go out all guns blazing, kind of lay a marker down and bring my, hopefully get us through the next round and bring my 5th Scottish Cup in a row home. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm quite confident.
Mark, yourself?
I'm quite quietly confident myself. I think we could win this today not comfortably. I think it'll be a tough game, but I do think we'll win it. Welcome back, John.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot
for joining us again. Just a few shouts.
Yep.
Just the usual suspects again. Tim Alloy in ROH, get well soon. And a shout out to Malika, he's over in sunny Spain tuning in. And finally, Ben, he's at home recovering now. So let's hope that Celtic give a win today, Ben. Get well soon, kid. Hail, hail.
I think James Forrest is going to be a big loss to us today, lads, isn't he? Not in the starting lineup the way he's played the last 2 games since he came back. We're going to miss him today, I think, with his assist and his wit that he gives the team. Mark?
Oh, definitely. Forrest will be a big miss today. And Laxalt being in there is a bit of a worry for me as well.
What do you think, John?
I'm gutted Forrest. You've seen him come back, what he brings to our game. He brings that width, he can hit the byline and there's goals in him. He gives us that threat. He gives us something different. It's a massive loss today. Just hopefully it doesn't affect us too much. But as Mark says there as well, I'm a bit worried about Axel playing as well. But I think it's the last one as well. The one each game he played no bad. So hopefully we can have another performance after the day. And I just want to whip them all guns blazing and get a good show goals off them and put them back in their place.
Yep, get them back. Start getting at them from the start, didn't you?
Yeah, just right in their faces. Yeah, right in their faces.
Their faces, exactly like the last game. I think we were right in their faces, but again we had the unlucky goal by a set piece. Like that needs to be improved today. Really, don't did the set piece play that we had troubles with all over the season. We can't be giving really these silly free kicks outside the box. Really, can we?
No, that's where they're dangerous. They're quite dangerous at set pieces. So hopefully we don't give any silly free kicks. Just kind of try and keep it in their half. Just pressure on them for the start. Just keep it at them, try and get an early goal and just keep it at them.
Mark, do you think Scott Brown will be up for the game today, seeing as his last time to get a cup for Celtic? Are you expecting a performance from him? Can you see his addition to the first team today? Are you expecting a big game for Scott Brown?
Yeah, I think Brown will know this. This is his last chance, his last hurrah to lift a trophy with Celtic. I think he'll be well up for it, and he'll make sure that the team's well up for it as well. Be a perfect send-off for him. Well, a perfect send-off would have been another treble, but that didn't happen. But perfect send-off for him, lift the Scottish Cup at Hampden.
And what about John Edward? Like he's been missing a good few, as we say, kind of basic chances that Edward of previous season would have been putting away. Are you hoping he turns up today for the big games? And can you see why he's in the first team? Because he does kind of turn up for the big games.
Yes, I can see how he's in the first team, but he's got to go. He owes it to the fans. Once you go there and you put that tap on, as Tommy Burns says, it's a football club you're playing for a community and a culture. So he has to go there and give it his all, especially it's against Rangers today. So he has to go and give us something. He's kind of leaving a bit of high as well because this season he's been off the ball. Maybe he's need somewhere else, but. If he's any respect for this club and any respect for this fans, he should go and give everything he's got and try and lift a trophy before he leaves so it's don't go empty-handed this season.
Yourself, Mark?
Sorry, what? Did you do something there, Paul?
Yeah, I just said like your thoughts on Edward today. Are we expecting a big performance?
Well, we seem to expect it all the time for Edward. sometimes he delivers, sometimes he doesn't. But these are the big games that people are watching. This is his chance to make. This is the games where players make their names. They need to get them sorted out and get right in about them and show us and the people that he's obviously trying to sell himself to what he can do in these high pressure games.
Are you happy to line out? Is it what you expected? That maybe like we all thought James Forrest would have made it, but he didn't. But is this the lineup you would have gone for if James Forrest wasn't available? I presume we can see Christie on the right wing. I think can we?
Yeah, that'll be Christie will be on the right. This is the only one I'm disappointed with Laxalt. The rest of the team really picks itself.
I would like to see Taylor in there, right? I think Taylor would have been like the defence has been started the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, and stuff like that. I would like to see Taylor being playing as well. You know, he kind of brings a bit of strength to that left back position that we've been lacking. And to be honest, Laxalt does give away silly free kicks outside that box. You know, we've seen a few times, too many this season, really, haven't we?
Yeah. He gave one against Hibs, 1-0 up, and he gave one away, and Hibs scored in the last minute because of it. But I'd have put Lee Griffiths in there. I'd have went all guns blazing and went the top, because you can see when Edward and Griffiths plays with each other, they're just unstoppable. And I think Griffiths came out and says that himself. It's just him and Edward. It's just telepathic the way they connect. I'd have went the top with it and just went for it.
I'm just happy that Elanusi is starting. You know, I think the last 2 games he's been brilliant, and he brings a different presence to the team when he's on. He has pace, he can pass, he gets in the box. Are you happy with Elanusi starting from the game, Mark?
100%. He started to show us the type of player that he is on a more consistent basis. I mean, we always knew he had the technical ability, but he was drifting in and out of games a lot and didn't have the kind of impact that even he probably expected. So I'm happy to see him. He's actually doing it on a more consistent basis, because I think Elanusi's a cracking player. I really do.
A few the live chat there, Glasgow Green thinks he's a class player too. They're kind of happy that he's starting. But one fella I just want to ask you on, and a few people have been saying he wasn't great in the last his first door form, and I know we said we'd take him if we had a chance of buying him, but people are saying he was a bit weak. The last is John Joe Kenny. You know, are you expecting him to be kind of more relaxed? That is his second game against Rangers. I know, like, you're making your debut, you're going to be a bit nervous. It's against your rivals, you're going to be nervous. Are you happy that maybe John Joe Kenny might know now what to expect in an old form?
Well, to me, you can't write off a player just because he had one bad game a few weeks ago. Apart from the last game against him, Kenny's been a solid enough player. I don't. I mean, fair dues, he didn't do too well at Ibrox, but it's a different. You can't just write him off because of that. Every other game we've not really done any complaints about him. Just says maybe nerves got to him a bit or that, but we'll see how he does today. But apart from that game, Kenny's done a solid enough job for he came in.
Your thoughts, John?
I'm exact same as Mark. I agree with Mark. Everything Mark says. Second is he's reliable. You know what you're getting from him. And just one game, you can't write him off. So he's come in with defence. He's showed up, and obviously he's not had the best game against him the last game. But I'm like Mark says, yeah, definitely. Come the summer, I would take him if the price is right. I think under a good manager, he's just going to get better and better. He's still young as well. I think he's only 23 or something. So if the price is right, I would definitely take him.
And what do you think about John Kennedy's comments during the week there that Celtic are the best team in Scotland and stuff like that? Has that put extra pressure on the team to win today to prove his point, or is he actually hyping up the team, you know, to get the win?
I think he's hyping up the team. We're the best team in Scotland. You need to look at the history, everything we've won. We've done everything first, and we've been swimming against the tide in this country as well. I think we all know the referees and the SFA. We've been swimming against the tide in this country, and look at the success we've got. Just think about us playing in a level playing field in this country. What would success be like?
I don't think Kennedy said anything that we've not said ourselves. But Celtic on paper, Celtic are the best team in the country. I've said it
Capable of beating anyone if they're on their game. Exactly.
Rangers, I've said it before, all Rangers are is a well organised, well drilled team. There's not anybody that you would put, I mean, would you put any of their players in the same bracket as Elianusi or that?
No, exactly.
That's all the Rangers have got. If Celtic turn up, we'll destroy them today.
And how do you think they'll do that, Mark? How do you think Celtic will play? Do you think are you expect them to be on them from the start, from the front foot, being Rangers' face, moving the ball around like we did against Liverpool, keep the ball on the floor? Are you expecting more of that?
High pressing, keep at them, keep them at their heels, don't give them a minute on the ball, and just for the full 90 minutes. Just don't let them settle into their way you're playing.
Realistically, we need to score first, don't we, John? To set it down, to make Rangers nervous. If Celtic score first, Rangers will be nervous,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a quick goal and just keep getting at them and maybe try and take a second. And I'm looking for a few goals today, just right in their faces, right at them, not a second in the ball. And destroy them. I want to destroy them today. And I'm confident. I just need to get that quick goal first and maybe try and get a second as well before half time. But only time will tell. If we go and play the way we usually play, play the way we have been playing, we'll obviously have this season, then it's a win for us today. It's definitely plan B, they're just a one-trick pony, I think.
And predictions for today, Mark?
I'm going to say...
I'll hold you to this, you know what I mean? Just let you know that.
I'll put my neck in the line. I'll go for 3-1, a 3-1 win.
3-1 win. John?
I'll say 3-0. I was saying it, I was speaking to my mate earlier on the day, I was saying 3-0 in a Lee Griffiths double, but he's not starting today, but it can still come in as well. But 3-0 I'll go for.
I'm going to be slightly cautious. I'm going for 2-0. I'm going for 2-0 or 2-1. That's where I am. It's just the way we played this season. I think it's unpredictable what way we're going to turn up, but I'm pretty hopeful that this team will be able to prove a point today, considering it's our last chance to get a cup, and it's Scott Brown's last chance to get a cup for Celtic. I'm expecting a big performance from the team today from the art, and I'm quietly confident for a win.
We've shown over the last couple of games that we have actually improved for Lennon left. The team has improved the style of play, the way they're playing. It's improved under Kennedy. So I mean, it's a bit of a different animal that Rangers are coming up against today.
I think it's just, Mark, our weaknesses, on paper, their last couple of goals against us have been set pieces, and Rangers will know that. I'm just thinking like that again. They'll go down easy outside the box just to get that free kick, or that's. I'm expecting Are we expecting the referee to have a good game today, Bobby Madden, or is he going to be like the last couple of matches? That decisions don't go away. It's hard to tell with the referees these days, isn't it?
See if you watched, but it's the big decisions that don't go your way. They don't mind giving Celtic free kicks when we're on half and things like that. But they're keen to give us them when it's in and about the box, the opposition box. You know what I mean? It's not that we don't get decisions; it's we don't get the big decisions.
The game changers.
Aye, John.
I think that's it. Are we expecting any red cards today, do you think, lads?
Never say never in these games, can you?
No. There's one player I'm quite confident in the last couple of games, and I think he's done well. The thing is Scott Bain. I think he's after really coming on. He's made a good few saves against Livingston, and I think now with a nice confident defence in front of him, they're growing in more confidence between the keeper and the back. Actually seems to be more communication between the back four and the keeper, and that's only kind of a good thing for us going forward, and especially going into this match. Mark?
Our Bain has done well, but it's just saying about his confidence. You could tell with Barkis's body language that he wasn't confident. Bain's been in about the club a lot longer than Barkis. Do you know what I mean? He'll have no friends as such, but he knows how these players work. He's communicating a lot more with the defenders, as you say. And I still don't think Bain should be our number one, but he's the best. For me, he's the best we've got just now, and it is helping as a defensive to tighten us up.
And you guys in the live chat, what's your predictions for today? What are you expecting from the score? Give us your thoughts, and we'll gradually read them out during the day as the day goes. As you know, it's going to be a long day for myself and Mark, so we'll keep things going as best we could. What's your decisions on Bain, John? Are you happy with Bain that he is the best we got and he's more confident with the back four than the other keepers?
I'm comfortable with being just now. He can do a job. I think it's just I'm comfortable. At the end of the day, that's the best we've got just now. Right back as this game with a good CV, great number one. There must be a player there, but as Mark was saying, it's confidence. I think. I mean, watching a game and a goal went in, and Julian just started shouting him, and he just looked scared. Like, didn't want to answer back. Like, kind of just put his head down. I just didn't look confident.
Any other keeper would just turn around and start back and blaming Julian.
He started shouting back. Let's use it. See, but he just looked scared as if like he'd been told off and just walked away with his head down. Like, I just think it's any confidence in him. But as you say, Bain's the best we've got just now. We just kind of, he's reliable, but just when it comes to him, we just need.
Christie back in the team today, lads. He's got 2 good goals in the team. Do you think he's confident is up after getting 2 goals in the last 2 games? That we can expect maybe a goal from Christie today, or are we going to expect the usual blood over the bar? Or
I don't think you can question Christie's confidence. That's one thing. He doesn't lack self-confidence. Just you can tell, as you're saying, he just gets the ball, makes a bit of space and shoots, whether he's 6 yards or 16 yards for the goal. I wouldn't say it's confidence with Christie. I think it's decision making. It's his decision making to get work on.
Yeah, it sounds like that. It's we don't know with the rumours being said about Bone before that Len was trying to make him the next Chris Commons, kind of a shoot on sight. We don't know if that was the real thing, but he's really after kind of his shots lately have been kept on, and they seem to be going into the goal when he kind of shoots on target. He's really doing it.
Henry on the live chat, he's saying Christie. I don't know how you pronounce Elianussi's nickname. Is it Moy that you pronounce it as?
Moy.
I think so, yeah.
He's saying Christie and Moy will be key today. I think Elianussi, if Elianussi could win his game himself, if you know what I mean. If he's on his game, pulling the strings, just in that wee hole between the midfield and the striker, that would be really, could be really dangerous.
I think Elianussi kind of plays as a kind of a fake second striker as well. The way he gets in the box there sometimes, when there's no one else there, Elianussi is in there. He's goal there against Limty when he got the header. Like, he was in the box, he was the forward striker. So Elianussi kind of gives you 2 different options, don't he? He gives you the width. He's in the box. You kind of. It's like a kind of a free roll for him, he kind of gets in where these little pockets where he pops up, John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when he played in that role for Bawz, I think it was him and Ajeti, wasn't it? I think they had an outstanding season, the two of them. I think that's when they get noticed. He was playing just behind Ajeti when he played for Bawz, and he was playing that few roles you were explaining there. And I think that's when the two of them kind of were noticed, like half teams in Europe and stuff, for their moves. But and now, so what do you think the fee would be to get him to Celtic if we were going to sign him in the summer? Also, they've paid 16 million. Do you think we could roughly get him for something like 5-6? Do you think Southampton would want to kind of sell him for that, or be looking for more?
Mark?
Oh, I think it would take that. We spoke about it the other night on the podcast. Celtic losing £10 million on a player is a disaster. But the teams down in England losing £10 million on a player is not really. It's not really that much to them in the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's peanuts to them.
Obviously, we'll no match his wages because I think he's in about 60 grand a week down there, somebody said. But it gets another 60 grand off the Southampton wage bill as well. So I think.
And he seems to be happy up here as well, don't he, Mark Elianussi?
He seems settled up here and he seems happy. And
like, I'm just watching the match there, the things there, 4 goals in his last 3 games. That's some turnout, like, for a player who's not on main strike, 4 goals in 3 games. Like, that just shows what he can do in a match. Like, he can get in the box or even outside the box and get these goals, isn't it? And that's one player we kind of need to step up today, isn't this, Mark?
As John said there about him, see, I don't like him stuck out on the left-hand side. I'd rather see him in the middle, just playing off a striker. See, like the way Lubo used to play for us, just hanging it back, just that wee spark right in the middle. I think that's where Elianussi could really run amok for us up here.
Pedro's going on about the defending again, or set pieces are so bad. But it was interesting there that when Ayer was playing on international duty, he spoke about how he needs to improve his set pieces. So is it not really a Celtic thing? Is it a player thing that was so bad at set pieces if he came out for Norway and kind of said that during the international duty? Ayer, what do you think of that, John?
I'm not too sure. The set pieces, it just seems to be a disaster all season. It's as if nobody knows what they're doing and they're looking to start blaming each other. And it's just, I don't know. It just every time we were getting a free kick in a corner against you, it was like you were just it's going to be a goal here.
It's my opinion. I'm not personally myself. I'm not a big fan of this this zonal mark that a lot of teams now do these over since a couple of years back, and I'm not a big fan of this zonal mark. I'd be for being man and man, stop the runner for the back, because your attackers really have the advantage on you if you're doing the zonal mark and you stand still. They're having to run in on you, so it's really hard for you to jump up and compete against their run into mark.
I'm not a fan of zonal marking either. See at corners and that, you've got a man to pick up or you're standing in a post. That's enough. Don't put men on posts at corners.
Definitely.
That Morelos goal against us, if there was somebody on that back post, he wasn't getting that goal.
Even have like Taylor, when you go, Paul.
You know, I think Taylor will be hopefully he won't be, but he could be a big loss to that back line there as well, can't he? He does, like, for me, Taylor's been outstanding when he played for us this season. Maybe John Kennedy thinks that Lexell will give the team more weight getting up and down that line. You know, do you think that's the thoughts of John Kennedy with Lexell, that he'll give the team more weight?
Maybe that's what he's going for, a bit of width and a bit of energy up the wing, a bit more attacking to go for goals. But it wouldn't be me. I'd have Taylor in, he's reliable. He does his defensive duties, especially when you're going up against obviously your rivals. You want a bit of defensive stability. And Axel doesn't really offer that. I'd have went for Taylor, but I don't know what John Kennedy's thinking. But
is it not that young guy that's at right back for them?
That's what I'm saying. Does he feel confident that Lexell would
put a bit of pressure on him?
Put a bit of pressure that Lexell would get up the field with more, like, and put pressure on that young. I think Tavernier is actually going to be a big miss.
The fella Russi's going to be coming into the middle. It keeps the width in the left hand. Didn't it relax out? But I like my defenders to defend first.
I'm agree with you. That's defensive first, then think about your attacking side after it. Just sort your back line out first.
Pedro's asking Bawz there, is it correct that Eddie hasn't scored a headed goal this season? I'm not too sure, but Bawz is saying he only scored 2 headed goals for Celtic. But that's not really Edward. Edward likes to have the ball on the floor, at his feet, what he can do with his feet, and that's the kind of a player that Edward is, really, isn't he? He kind of likes to play the ball and run, and you know.
When you look at him, he's physically, he should be better in there, but it's not his game. He likes to play the ball at his feet. But it's again, when it comes to our set pieces, he's not really a threat. I mean, he doesn't give an aerial threat at set pieces or anything. It's definitely something that he needs to work on, I think.
What's your thoughts on Zoe? The last couple of games that he hasn't been getting in the team ahead of Scott Brown. Do you think that John Kennedy is saying, look, Scott Brown's the captain, it's his last season, does he deserve to play, or will he give the team a bit of lift if he's playing his last season, a bit of fight? Do you think? Do you know what's your thoughts on that Zora can't get into the team again at the moment? John?
I think it's just because Scott Brown's leaving. I think it's just kind of giving him the last couple of games to kind of see his career out at Celtic. But if it was me, I would be getting Zorro in there to kind of try and get him game time and get him to improve. But I think maybe Sentman might fit in a wee bit, but I'm not too sure.
I think the key battle today is going to be the midfield, isn't it? Whoever wins the midfield that seems to be the key battle in these last Celtic and Rangers games, isn't it? Is the midfield area, isn't it? That whoever kind of wins them kind of wins the game, Mark?
And we've looked a bit light in the midfield. We've not much physical presence. Even Brown's not been the same as he's been. You know what I mean? And that's what we need for Scott Brown. We need him to be the physical presence and the driving force in the midfield. We can't let them overrun us again.
Yeah, that's like that's my thinking. Like, we need to, the midfield needs to kind of be strong today to win the midfield, and I think we'll win the game. What's your thoughts on that, John?
Midfield battle, hate to win your midfield battle. So when your midfield battle, that's basically you've got control of the game. Once you win that, it's just kind of go forward, free flowing football. I just need to get a midfield battle win.
Do you think Scott Brown's legs are gone for these type of games, Mark? That's why we're not kind of winning these battles in the midfield against Rangers of late. Do you think that's why that maybe Zora would fit better in there to give the team more energy?
I don't think his legs have went, but he's lost a bit of his pace and no fit. I wouldn't say fitness because he's probably one of the fittest guys in Scotland, and never mind just at Celtic. But I think it's age that's caught up with him a wee bit, and he's not as quite as sharp as he used to be and things like that. But this is his chance.
I'm just hoping for the team for Celtic today, like, and for Scott Brown's last season, that the players here can just give him one last reward as a Celtic captain to lift another cup, before he leaves, because we actually do need this cup, not just for the players, but the players need to realise that the fans need this cup because of the disappointment of the season, going out of the League Cup, losing the league so early in badly fashion. The fans actually need this cup as well this year, don't we, John?
Yeah, definitely. Is it? I think we've won it this year for the 5th year in a row we've won it. Is that in our record as well? If we won it this year, it's first team to have won it 5 times in a row. There you go. It's a poor season and we're still breaking records, and it just shows you how good a team we're still, really. Just obviously a lot of things went wrong this season, but if we won it, it's another record we've set, and we've still had a poor season. But we definitely need it. It's to kind of help the fans a wee bit, get out of this poor season, and it's just a bit of silverware as well. Obviously, my history of silverware, but I'm confident today to put them out and go and win it.
Last chats, lads, before I leave you and I go solo.
Yes, I can see Big Duffy's on the team again. What is it? I think John Kennedy is injured or something, or John Kennedy just kind of blanked him into the team altogether.
I don't know if I don't think he's injured, but I just don't. I think they've just kind of maybe agreed, look, this isn't working out. Just tick things over to the end of the season, and sorry about that. There's no.
I don't think you can. I don't think you could take Walsh out of the team at this moment. He's being so well at the moment. You can't take him out because the defense is playing so well, and with Duffy coming in and Duffy having kind of such a bad season, would he upset that settled for then? I think that's maybe a reason there, Mark. Do you think?
Sorry, Paul. What was that?
I said, like, you couldn't really take Welch out of the team either because of Duffy. The team is being so well. You can't.
You couldn't take Welsh out of the team for anybody because the lads no put a foot wrong. That would see if they dropped Welsh today for somebody else. To me, that should get back to like a Lennon type of selection. Doesn't matter if they've been playing well or whatever, but my best one of the boys is fit again, so you're dropped. That's getting back to that thing. That's not the way to go.
Welsh, John, are you going to?
Welsh has been fantastic. He really has for a young guy. Delighted.
John, your thoughts before the match, just before you go?
My thoughts, looking for a good strong performance and a good attacking performance, but I'm confident. I'm looking for a good few goals and a good win.
Are you going to join us for the second half?
Yeah, I'll join you. Yeah.
Perfect.
Mark, your thoughts before you go?
Just get out and prove again that we're the top team in Scotland. Show them, we've spoke about it, we know we are, but it's time they stepped up and proved it against Rangers. I'm
perfect, lads.
Quietly confident as well.
Perfect. I'll see Borsby at half time, and lads, it's just me for 45 minutes, so here we go for Rangers versus Celtic.
Thanks, Mark.
Lots of talk, lads.
Right, cheers.
One of hoops. See you later. One of hoops.
So, folks, here we go. Rangers versus Celtic in the Scottish Cup 4th round. Get your thoughts in the live chats. I will read them out. I'm quietly confident, as the lads were saying, that this team needs to perform for the fans and hopefully for Scott Brown, that he knows what it means to get another cup for Celtic in his last season. So give me your thoughts during the live chat, and let's hope that we put these hunts to the bed and knock them out of the cup. And it's good for a change not to see Chris Boyd on the television criticising Celtic and loving all things about Rangers. And thank God we actually have BT Sports and Premier Sports there to do the Scottish Cup live for us. It's good to see Chris Sutton back in the commentary lineup today. I'm sure all of you are greatly doing a minute's silence for the late Prince Philip. I know Mark is standing up. He's saying boo there on the thing, but I know Mark is standing up quietly and he's not telling us that he's doing a minute's silence for Prince Philip. Maybe we might see a few fireworks again, I think, will we? Look at him. Jesus Christ, get the camera off him, fuck's sake, I can't look at him. Apologies for the curse there. Going by your thing there, Rob, now you were saying you were hoping that the Green would be letting off fireworks thing, but it wasn't fireworks, but I'm led to believe there was a naked woman running outside Windsor Castle yesterday with her kit off, and she did get arrested, but I think that's the only kind of excitement that was at that funeral yesterday. She was just escaping from Prince Philip's the sex dungeon. I'm free. So lads, here we go. That's it though. That's the kind of tackle we need from the first half. Well done, Christie. And again, a free kick, and he wins the ball, and it's against a free kick, like. Yeah, how's that? Like, he won the ball, like, Jesus, like. Glasgow Green said he's looking forward to my commentary today. I won't be like BT Sports, or I won't be like Sky Sports. I'd be in and out of commentary and getting thoughts in the live chat. So Glasgow Green, I hope you'll be able to follow the Green, but you will know when Celtic score, because we have a great shout out for myself, so you'll be able to know the score by then. Just keep an eye on my shouts. Go on, Edward, hold it up. Paul, if the results fail, just show rake at that. I can't say that. Oh, here he is. Great keeper, but I just despise him. Alan McGregor, despise him with pride. You know, I just don't like the guy. You know, and I'm sure all of you agree there that I just don't like him. You know, it makes me sick looking at all these fucking Union Jack flags around the stadium. God. I don't know. Your thoughts on the first few starts, lads? How do you think we started? Are we pushing them, or are we getting a thing, or have Rangers been the better team since the start? Give me your thoughts. You don't know, yeah? Great ball, Brown. Great ball. Go on, turn. I just said to Mark that the graphics are fine, Mark. It's something different from the Celtic Rumours TV podcast graphics. So we just said we'd just change them there today for the thing. It was a last minute thing I asked Mark to do, but fair dues to Mark, got it done for me. So Mark, thanks for that. We're happy with that. Well done, bro. For Christ's sake, like, sell again. Like he just goes to ground, doesn't he, Laxell? He just goes to ground instead of standing up, trying to play the ball and thing. Like, he just goes to ground every time to make a tackle. Like, there's no need for it. Like, stay in your feet, like, there's no need to be going to the ground all the time, Laxell. Like, he just constantly going to ground, and they gets around him so easy when he goes to ground. Like, stay in his feet, like, That's what we're missing here from James Forster, that we have to play back there again for when we're out the right wing. We're going to miss James Forster big today, I think. Glasgow Green, I give Jack. Laxell gives me fair as well. Great ball. Lucky. I think that's the one difference that George O'Kenny gives us as well. Rather than Fling Farm is his distribution of the ball. He's able to cross it. He's able to put a nice ball into the box. Jesus Christ, dude, Fling Farm there, he crossed the ball down. He used to go to the other side for a try. Lucky. Lads are saying, what's my own prediction? I'm going for... I don't know, lads. I was expecting a really better start. I was expecting that we'd be in the front foot, that we'd be in their faces, but I don't know. I'm looking for a 2-1. What's your thoughts on that? 2-1? I'm hoping, though, with this defence, I don't think we're going to concede that many goals. So I'm hoping 2-1. Your thoughts on that, Glasgow Green? 2-1 for me. Lucky Edward. 3-2 for Glasgow Green, hopefully with style. I'm hoping to Glasgow Green, but I think with style, I think that James Forster, when he was playing the last two games with us against Livingston and Falkirk, he brought a different dimension to the team again. we had more whiffs with James Forrest. We played well. We seemed to be passing well with James Forrest, and it just looked like a different team. And what I'm seeing now from the start here is just looking the same as an old Neil Lennon team before James Forrest came back in. It's just my opinion, but I think James Forrest, and I know he does get criticised a lot, but he just shown us this season what he's missing, what we're missing so far in this game in James Forrest. Each last cell gave a free kick in their half for a change. What's your thoughts, lads, if we do win this game today? If we do win this game in such style today, do you think John Kennedy will be in consideration for the job, or has he been? Do you think he actually has held talks with Desmond and Peter Law overcome the manager's job? You know. GFP says no. Sorry, lads, but I can't give out illegal streams on the show. But I will let them on the live chat, but I won't be promoting them. Copyrights. Don't want to have Mark getting a fine to his front door in the morning by the TV license inspector. Jesus Christ's sake. Offside? No. God, fuck's sake, like. It's ridiculous. How many chances do we have to clear that ball? Like, ridiculous, like. And of all players like Davis, like that. Oh, Christ's sake. Christy, like, trying to pull up, he's like, put your head into the ball, like, Jesus Christ, if you're going to get hit in the head, you're going to get hit in the head, like, put your head in there, instead of trying to pull up with a leg, trying to clear the ball like that. You know, your back's turned away from goal, like, Jesus, like, you're facing the goal. Put your head in there, put it out for a corner. I agree, Pedro. Bain could have came up for that ball as well. He stand on his line as well, yeah. First 10 minutes and we're one down, like, come on. It was John Kenny was marking him. Was it? Come on, John, like. It's like watching an old Celtic team under Neil Lennon again into the team. They just don't look up for from the start, like, you know. corner. Jeez, that came off our feet like. Sorry to say it, lads, but we've started really poor here in this first 15 minutes. So I was expecting a lot more from this team at the start. I thought we'd been their faces, but we've started really, really poor. Stephen Jordan is like, hey, I think we did well today, yeah. I think we did well, yeah. Oh, Scozer. Come on, let's turn from our side. Here's a toffee, lads. There's rumours that we spoke in the podcast show that AC Milan are offering cash plus Laxell for Ivod. Is that someone that would is that something that would interest you? Go on, Tony. Go on, then, Lucy. Or Laxell. God, for Christ's sake. Jesus Christ, that's shocking. Shocking attempt from across McGregor. Shocking. I'm actually surprised we're getting decisions going our way for the Chorins at this stage. Go on, Edward, hold it up. Jeez. We're making it too easy, lads. That's what we are. Too easy for them. You know? Laxell's going to end up being booked, and I don't know. I just think that he could be a player that is running a very thin line today with Bobby Mann. The amount of free kicks he's been giving away. Come on, Mitch, pass it. Jeez, like pass it back, pass that. It's like side to side. There's no one looking for the ball in front of the teams into it. That wouldn't surprise me, Paul. What wouldn't surprise a Glasgow Green? Sorry, I'm just fluting stuff off here. I'm not keeping record what I'm saying. Oh, Laxell. Yes, I get. Yeah, yeah. Come on, John. Come on. Well on, Turner. Go on. Yeah. Fuck. Unlucky, Edward. Great play by Turn. Great turn. Great pass. Edward. First touch really kind of let him down. What the? Go on, Brown. Get him. Oh, Kent. I mean, how's that not a booking, man? Like, there was no play for the ball. Like, the ball was well gone. He came in from behind again. Like, pass him back again. Like, pass it back again. You know? Go on, Edward. Unlucky. Was slightly seemed to be coming into the game. You know, we're trying to get the passing going. Kind of straight at him, Edward. You know, kind of put it to the side of him or something. You know, kind of hit it straight at him. That was well off by Christie, wasn't it? Well off. Good God, Joe Cassidy. Great ball. Unlucky. Well done, well done. Just Christ, Laxell, why aren't you up the left there? Jesus, like, the guy who stopped and looked at there, like, where was Laxell? He was nowhere to be seen, like, where was he, like? Well done, Colin. Callum. Handball. To have a look at that. Was that a handball? I agree, Glasgow Green. I think Turnell is that type of player that he has a bit of magic in him, so hopefully we can get a bit of magic out of him today. Patterson. God love him. The COVID will damage his career. You broke the rules, my friend. You broke the rules. You should receive your ban. Oh, he just got the kind of positioning wrong. He should have kind of pushed it forward, tried to push it forward. Well, God. Great ball. Go on, Edward. Offside. Christ's sake. He looks frustrated, like, don't he, Edward? He looks that because he knows he can do better, that he wants to do better, that he's missing these chances. He does look frustrated, like. Look, Oyer was like he was looking in front of him, like putting his hands out, like saying, "Where are you?" And there's no one there in front of him looking for the ball. And we have to go back to Bain again, like, you know, this. Come on, like. I think it is true. I think there's just a few things. Glasgow Green, that Camilla is on his way to the US. I think there's just a bit of paperwork that needs to be sorted out. So I'm hearing it's £3.5 million. So I think he wasn't given a fair deal. That's I spoke a lot on the podcast. He wasn't given a fair deal by Celtic. Obviously, I think we didn't see the best in. We didn't. Celtic didn't play the best to Camilla's type of player. It's a good move now, I think, for both teams. Celtic getting their money back. He ain't going back. He'll get first team football. But I would keep an eye on this player, lads. I think this could be a player that maybe could come back to haunt us. You know, he's getting great reviews in Poland. He's playing in the Polish under-21s team. He's pretty soon he'll be getting called up to the Polish international team. So I will be keeping an eye on him. I'll be keeping an eye on his progress. But I think we made a decision too soon on Camilla. That's my opinion on him. All we seem to be doing is passing the ball back, passing the ball back, passing the ball back, passing the ball back. You know, side to side, Welsh Ire, Bain, Welsh Ire. You know, like, there's no one looking for the ball. Like, there's no one looking for the ball in front of him. Do you know? Jesus, like, how easy, really. Like, Rangers are happy with the way we're playing. It's this side to side football, no one pressing, no one looking for the ball. Rangers are quite happy to let us play from Welsh to Irish, play back and forth, quite happy. It's ridiculous, like this thing that we constantly do it, like back and forth from the back. Ridiculous. Get the ball forward. Players look for the ball forward. So there's side to side passing and back passing. Thanks, Tom Rocks. We're here from till about 8 o'clock tonight. Myself and Mark had a good show on FIFA today, so we'll hopefully join us. We'll be here at half time with United Ireland. We'll be here after the match with John JFP after the match for getting his reaction to the match. And at the 7 o'clock Celtic Rumours TV podcast, we'll be joined by Barry Forbes. We'll be going through the game with him. So we have a good day ahead of us, but with the day that's in it, with Celtic and Rangers, and with the pubs being closed for you guys and most will be at home, we said we'll share all this game together. But I thought we would be a bit happier, but not at this moment. Jesus Christ, he thought Laxell there, though. As if he wasn't even there. Look at this. Look at this. How easy he turned Laxell there. Jesus Christ. If he would have went down, that was a free kick to Rangers there, because Laxell just basically stuck out of foot. He didn't actually know what he was doing, really. Stuck out of foot. Your lovely Irish presenter, Tom Rocks, is Paul. So thanks for that. I hope you enjoyed the Cork accent. I'm just getting used to having a taste of Roy Keane on the sidelines for next season. That you'll be able to hear Roy Keane shouting from the sidelines next season. I'm sure nobody at work, as he was known, as he's known now, as he used to be Leonard at work. But maybe next year he might have Keane at work. And to our own JFP, who I know is a great Roy Keane fan, I'm just letting him get used to the Roy Keane accent for next season on the sidelines and the Roy Keane interviews, as he was saying. I think we'll all take Roy Devine if he hadn't played out this stage, wouldn't we? I think we had a period there about 5-10 minutes where I thought we were getting into the game, but seemed to kind of gone back into this shell again, have to be passing the ball back, not getting forward again. I mean, this team gives me, excuse my French here, the shits when we start playing football at the back between Bain and Iron Thing, and there's two Rangers players on top of them. I'm just like, get the ball out of the box as fast as you can. I don't trust them at this stage the way we're playing. Ryder Rover, Glasgow Green said he was. Can you still buy those books, by the way? Those Ryder Rover books. And they still play Christ. If he still play Christ, he must be the oldest football in history. I say he'd be nearly about 200 years old now if they're still making those books. Come on, let's count the Celtic. Tell it to take it. Oh Christ, that was a very poor free kick. A corner. Jesus, lads. I was throwing out here, lads. I'm not happy the way we started the game. I'm not happy at all. I thought this team myself, Mark, John, there, United, we just talked before the match that we expect this team to be on them from the start, pressuring them, putting the balls in, getting tackles in. I'm not seeing none of this from this team today. None of it. All I'm seeing is a Nordley led team that basically they don't know what they're doing at this precise moment. They can't get the ball forward to El Nusi. I can't name kind of once when he was on the ball. All we seem to do is passing the ball back, side to side, like a Neil Lennon team. It's a big chat from John Kennedy at half time. You said it, we're the best team in Scotland. We are the best team in Scotland. And it's about time this team hears the, oh my God, Jesus, God. Oh my God. I mean, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not thinking that John Joe Kenny has been a fault for 2 goals here for us. He was running there. He was the same to first goal. Get to the ball first before your player. Watch your player. Watch who's on your back and get in the goal. And Scott Bain as well. Come on. That's ridiculous, lads. Ridiculous defending. I think we're seeing here, lads, why John Kennedy should be nowhere near this team next season. Nowhere near us next season. This is ridiculous, lads. Absolutely. Look at it. They can't even get Jesus, How's that not a free, Bobby Madden? I agree, Tom Knox. There's still plenty of time. There's still a second half, but if things don't change soon, if we either don't get a goal before half time or in the second half, you're not feeling confident about this Celtic team at the moment. The way we started is ridiculous. I really thought that this team would be up from the scratch, considering how bad the season has been this season. This is our last chance, and we've started very, very poorly. What's the thoughts, lads? If James Forrest was fit for this game, would he have made a difference, think, in this game the way we've started? Or has it been actually the whole team that has been really poor so far this first half? Do you think James Forrest would have made a difference here? Because there's plenty of times there we had the ball down the right wing and there was no one there to receive it. There's no one actually getting up front. Everyone seems to be sitting back. There's no one looking for the ball. There's no one holding their hand up to say, pass me the ball. It's just ridiculous the way we're playing. I agree with you, Pedro. Laxell sortless. Kenny couldn't get to it. And for Bain, I think Bain could have done better for the 2 goals. Well, beating at his near post there. I know the ball went across him. But geez, he could have done better, and he could have came out for that first goal as well. Like, lads, if you're going to get injured, like I played in goal myself, and geez, I got my fair few injuries. Like, if you're going to get injured, go for the ball. Excuse me, it's your job. You're the keeper. You have to put your body on the line for being a keeper. You know. And Foster did it. Fraser Foster put his line out there for the State club. Bean certainly hasn't put his body on the line today for those 2 goals. I agree to Jeff. We were in deeper shit than James Foss can fix it. This has been a very, very poor start from Celtic today, and I haven't. I don't know. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a better performance from today. You know, I had my doubts about the game, but geez, I wasn't expecting this, lads. I really wasn't expecting this. You know, I think we're seeing here, as I said a few minutes ago, that we can see why a lot of these players actually do need to go. You know, that a rebuild has to be done, and I hope we bring in the right players that can have a fight for the club, who play for the badge, and not these players at the moment, lads. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of these players who want to leave, let them leave, because after this performance, lads, if we don't win and if they play like this the second half, it's unacceptable in my opinion. Thought I'd be a bit happy in the language this morning, lads. I thought I'd be a bit happier, but how could you be happy with this performance being a Celtic fan? You know, how can you be happy with this performance? I think there's a big team talk for John Kenny in the half time himself and Gavin Strachan, you know, that they need to bring on a thing that maybe change the formation, go 2 up front. We've nothing to lose now, do we? Go 2 up front, you know, we've nothing to lose now. You know, I'm a bit disappointing what Lee Griffith's done in this season, but I think he actually could make a difference to this team if he was up front with 2 up front. You know, there's nothing else happening, lads. Nothing else happening. I agree with you, Bobby. New manager and a new team, please. I agree with you, because I'm watching this, lads, and I knew this season was bad, and I thought I couldn't get it as low as losing a 10 in a row, but this is hurting me, lads. This performance is really hurting me. Not the scoreline, fair enough, we're losing, but the team's performance in the whole is really hurting me. I thought they would play better. You know, it's really hurting me. Trust me, Glasgow Green, if these lads saw me doing their half-time team talk, there'd be only 2 players coming out of half-time. And that's the truth. And I'd be one of them. And the problem is then with me playing against Celtic and Rangers, I'd probably be sent off, so there'd probably be only 1 player left in the pitch. So I said, oh my God, I was known for my red cards in my soccer days. Even though I was a keeper, I was known for my red cards, so that was my own fault. I agree with you, Tom. There was the pride, you know, that's the kind of thing I'm pointing at. Like, that's this team. There's no pride in this team at this moment. You know, you can see that by the performance here, lads. You know, you can see it, like, you know. And my point was when we beat Livingston 6-0, you know, look, we're happy with the score. We beat Livingston 6-0. We're happy with that. But my point is here, like, the 10 in a row's gone. There's no point in being stressed out over the league anymore. So I think that's why that performance came against Livingston. But for me, it's a little bit too late, lads. You know, 6-0 against Livingston. 10, where has that been from today? Where's that performance today against Livingston? Where's this fancy football we've seen against Livingston? There's none of that here today. None of it. You know, and 2 bad goals we gave away today. 2 bad goals again. You know, that could have been avoided. Tom Locks, Paul, get the Rolex blade. You're starting in H2. JP, I agree with you, Edward. You know, I'm saying he looks a very, very frustrated player. Is that down to he doesn't want to be here, or is he frustrated that he's not receiving the ball, or he's not scoring goals? But certainly it's not the Edward we've seen last season, you know, and that really has backfired on us. I think it was David Des that came out and said they kept the players this season. They wanted to go for the 5 to 10 run, but it really backfired us that, you know, that these players could let down this club. Is such a big season this year. Such a big season that these players left us down. You know, such a big season. You know, I just thank God we're not watching this match in Sky Sports. I tell you, if I saw Chris Boy now, Jesus, if I had something in my hand, I'd throw it at the telly, and I won't be able to give you the second half, like, because fucking Chris Boyd's head be taken off the telly. I tell you that. I agree with you there, Henry. I think this is the way we were playing all season. It seems like a Leland, that style of play that we've been playing, clueless, no wit. That's don't true. We've no wit, but is that don't? I don't think James Foss going to make a difference in this team today. The way we played, we've just been so poor. It's like John Kennedy has been on Skype last night to fucking Lee Lennon asking about the team talk, and you know. Lads, I've agreed that this is a choice that, you know, that, you know, the disappointment of this season. This was a chance for this team to redeem themselves, give the fans back something here. But lads, I wasn't expecting this first half. You know, I really wasn't. Like, you know, get the camera off him. Jesus Christ, I can't look at it. Dirty Scouser. So lads, give me your talks. Going by the two last old forms, I spoke about the match. A lot of people are saying he's not good enough by the last Rangers game, but we're seeing again today he's been fairly poor. Is John Joe Kenny the player we actually think he is? You know, is he up to? Are we go? Would you like to sign him next season after seeing him 2 games against Rangers? You know. Half time, lads. Mark, John, welcome back.
Garbage. That was absolutely garbage.
I can't believe it. You know, we were talking there before the match of what we were expecting this team to do. Come out with a fight, show a bit of attitude, show a bit of pride. Jesus, it was totally opposite, John, wasn't it?
I don't think John's online yet. I better get him in.
You know, totally opposite, Mark, wasn't it? Totally opposite.
I don't know what to say to that.
I'm in shock, Mark. I really am. I'm not disappointed. Like, fair enough, I'm disappointed the scoreline, but it's hurting me more the way this team has turned up today. You know?
They've just not showed up. No fight, no urgency about any of them. Passing
it's ridiculous.
Oh, that's just like reminiscent. That's just a reminiscence a new winning team.
It is. It is. John, what's your thoughts on that? Can you hear us, John?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Poor. That's only one word, is poor.
You know, we were just saying there, like, we talked before the match that we would have had a bit more of a fight that we would really himself this season, but this game over the start and showed the pride. Jesus, it was total opposite, wasn't it?
Poor, there's no fight at all. It's tough for a heat away now, the way Cubs are going to.
You know,
it's disappointing.
When I was watching the match there, like, Jesus, like, all we seem to be doing is passing the ball between Welsh, Spain, Oyer. And Oyer's looking like to see who's looking for the ball. And there's no one there looking for the ball.
Yeah.
No one wants the ball, or do you know that kind of thing, Mark, isn't it? You know?
They're playing like complete strangers. It's bad. Honestly, that's just one of the worst performances I've seen for a Celtic team in a long time, and we have been
garbage. Yeah. You know, we can't even get 2 passes going. Do you know, Jesus. Laxell is going to get sent off, I think. You know, the way he's playing, he's going to get sent off. He was cut, I don't know how many times this young lad passing cut through him. You know,
what's Kennedy doing? Picking Laxell. We said at the beginning he was going to be the weak link, and he's proven that he is. He's proved that in the 45 minutes.
Exactly. Your thoughts on the goal, John? Bad defending again, wasn't it?
The first one, it was terrible. I don't know.
I can't believe how John's expected to clear that ball with his leg, the way he put up his leg. How did he expect? Put your head in there. If you're going to get kicked, you're going to get kicked. This is your job, you know. As Barry Forbes said, like, this is your job. You know, you get injured. It's your job. Put your head in there, clear the ball. Jesus Christ, that was so soft in the way that first goal, like.
Just look at teammates want to go on their summer holidays and get a big contract signed that the clubs are going to. It's just there's no fight for the badge, no fight for the club, and no fight for us either. They understand or they should understand it as fans went through this season. Go and put a bit of fight in for us and brings a trophy. But I can't see that off them.
But like, where's the performance gone? Like, where's fucking the performance against Livingston, Mark? Do you know what I mean? Where's that? We see none of that today, and I don't think. I honestly don't think James Foss could have made a difference the way we started this today to this team. The way we started has just been so poor. Like, you know, the midfield is as if we're not even there. I haven't once kind of heard Callum McGregor mentioned by that cross he tried to make. You know, they're just walking straight past the midfield, aren't they?
Callum McGregor's been one of the worst players for us this season. As well.
What is that due down to?
Chris haven't kicked a ball a season for.
What is Callum McGregor being poor because Scott Brown is playing? Because when Zoe was playing, Callum McGregor was pushing up front. Is that due to Scott Brown playing, Mark?
Well, maybe that. There's just.
You know, he seems to be playing deeper, don't he? When Scott Brown is there, he seems to be playing deeper when team
covering for what we were talking about earlier with Brownie's lack of legs. That he maybe not got the legs for it now. McGregor's in there to do the running, but it's to the detriment of the team.
Do you think McGregor seeds away for Celtic or something in the summer?
I think so, lad. Yeah.
My mate's old man works with his old man.
I mean, John, you can't get poor. You can't be this poor. Like, I've been one of the Celtic star players for the last couple of seasons, Callum McGregor. I mean, he never let us down, really. Like, but Jesus, the place is so poorly this season. We don't know what's going behind this. We actually don't know what players said they want to leave to the board. Maybe Callum McGregor has been one of them and he didn't get the move. Maybe that's why he dunked tools as well. You know, we actually don't know what's going on behind the scenes, so do we?
Supposedly it was last summer. Something with Man City was maybe agreed £80,000 in wages because my mate's old man works his old man. It might have been agreed and then just didn't work out at the end up. So maybe he seeds away with it. Maybe there's something here this summer. He could be gone. I don't know. It's been pure and it's been. Supposedly that's what my mate's old man says. He works his old man.
Good enough to play for Man City. Would you have, John?
Man City ladies, I think he'd be playing, huh?
His mate's old man. My mate's old man works in the Clenny, and his dad works in the Clenny. That's what I suppose that's what he's saying, but I don't know what truth's in it. But I think it's
fair enough. Like we're losing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was reading the live chat. There, a lot of people were saying Edouard he's been crap. He's been thing. But geez, has he got the ball to be crap? Have they got the ball up to Edouard? Have they got the ball up to the new seat? We haven't even got the ball to a proper player up front that we could actually create a chance. Did we actually did not create any clear-cut chances, like,
right.
You know?
Can I cut in, Paul, and do the draw for it?
Yeah, you do the draw, yeah, walk away.
Okay. Right.
Lads, good luck. That's the way. That's Mark's sound effects there that he recorded himself.
Oh, what's that? Can you see that, Paul?
I think, yeah, we can see it. Yeah, I think this is more enjoyable than the match, Mark. 50 or both lads, and great thanks to Rob Wright.
Okay, good luck, lads. Right, here we go. Steph boy. It's a quick.
Boy, well done. Well done. 50 over voucher.
I'm
Well
sure,
done, Steph.
I'm sure Ben will have a road for that.
So lads, that's a great lads, a great thanks to Rob there for giving us this. You know,
Thanks very
he
much
just,
again, Rob.
you know, I think that's the best excitement we had all day. You know, I hope Steph Boy's not like these fellas on the Saturday night takeaway, jumping up and down at home that he won a 50 euro voucher. You know, let us know what you spend it on, and all receipts, please. We are to. You can stop it now, Mark. The jaw's over.
Go on.
Yeah. You know, JFP says there, Paul, if Eddie had overalls, they'd fucking what? Immaculate. Yeah, we haven't really kind of created any chance, clear cut chance this thing. Like, you know, I don't think I mentioned any forward during that first half, lads. Did I? You know,
I'd throw Griffiths on. Just go for health and leather now.
I was saying that, Paul. I was saying that there in the first half. That, you know, we've nothing to lose now. It's 2-0. We've nothing to lose. Get Griffiths up. I know we haven't been a big fan of Griffiths this season, but it can't get any worse than what we're seeing here. You know.
I must say, I'd bring Griffiths on.
Supposedly Alexander says Taylor's warming up. I think that's no harm because Jesus, like Celtic has been. I'm watching here now, like passing and running here. Are you watching this, lads, in the first half? Here on the telly.
Aye.
So we just easily he ran past Laxell there. And Laxell is lucky he didn't go down because that was a free kick and he was going to be booked there. Very lucky. Very lucky. And I hope these rumours aren't true that AC Milan are offering him for Edward plus Clash. I certainly wouldn't take that. Sean?
No, I'd try and go for all the cash for Laxell. Edward, sorry, everything we can get for him.
I think we see why we don't have the John Kennedy manager next season by this performance there, don't we? You know?
Oh, he's not done himself any favours, that's a certainty. I mean, it's as if he's not even get the team up for the game.
But I thought they would, John. Him coming out there making this remark there, like we're the best team, and we are the best team, and we beat them there. But this is not the best team in Scotland out there today. By far, it's not the best team. This team has let the club down, it's let their manager down, it's let Neil Lennon down, it's let the fans down. But these players have a lot to answer for this first half performance. I hope we see a different performance. You know? He thought he picked the best team, like, but these players seem to have kind of down tools again today, didn't they? You know?
It looks that way, there's no fighting them. It's a cup game, you need to get a win, there's no draws or anything, there's only one winner in this game and they don't look as if they want to win. It's just
how can we improve it, Mark, do you think? What do you think we should, how can we improve it the second half? You know, what's the one thing we can do? Or?
As I said, we've got to just go for it now. I'd have put Griffiths on.
There's nothing to lose, just...
I'd get Laxalt off, get Taylor on, because Laxalt's just going to cost us again, I think, if he stays on the park. Somebody said in the chat that Taylor was warming up.
Yeah, Taylor was warming up there in the live chat. You know, your thoughts, John, what do you think we should do the second half? Should we bring Griffiths on? Can you see Griffiths coming?
Yeah, I'd bring Griffiths on and try and get him and Edward, they can link up and try and do something up front. I'd go for Griffiths.
My problem is, like, John Kennedy mightn't be Griffiths on now in the second half, he might bring it on. And then he might bring Griffiths on the 65th minute or 70 minutes. So what's he supposed to do in the last 20 minutes if we're still down 2-0? Do you know? You know, go for it now. See what we can do the second half. Go for it now. Get the first goal in the second half. And then you have them under pressure. Like, do you know, that's what we have to do. We have to get the next goal, realistically. You know?
Yeah, as soon as the second half starts, we need to get a quick goal straight away.
You know, I wasn't expecting my first watch-along to be aggressive or pissed off. You know, but Jesus, lad, this is really hurting me today watching this. Like, you know, it really is. Like, you know, I'm more pissed. I'm more upset back over the performance than the scoreline, to be honest. You know.
No, the performance is. You're not the only one that's pissed off about it, but the performance it's been abysmal. Just there's no one player that would even give pass marks to it there. Just
No,
maybe play as a team.
no. What's your thing, Mark? John? Performance? Is it hot?
Performance-wise, it was terrible. It's just only one word. Poor. Just disappointed. Just that weak wing.
But what's your thoughts on this passing that we're doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like this passing between the back two, the centre backs and Bain. That's just frustrating. Like Rangers are sitting back, letting us do that. Like
that's the way Rodgers was, wasn't it? Just passing it back. I think Kennedy's kind of adapting Rodgers' style of play because when new coaches come into the game, they kind of learn off a certain manager, and I think that's what John Kennedy's going to be, Brendan Rodgers' style.
Are they so used to that kind of play, Mark, these players, that they're so used to the way Brendan Rodgers played and they're finding it hard to come out of it?
No, they should.
You know,
long ago is it for Rodgers left now? No, I mean,
yeah.
Professional football players, Paul, should adapt to different tactics and styles of play.
Yeah, that's what a professional footballer can do. Like, adapt to a different manager's style of play. Like, but my God, this is bad. This is a bad first half for us. Like,
I said, but it depends what the manager's told him to do. Is this been Kennedy's plan? Is he saw this for Rodgers and thought that's the thing that he was going to use when he gets his chances? He's saying, man, he's going to follow that kind of. Oh, there's Taylor coming on.
Taylor coming on, about time.
Right, well, we just turn back to you, Paul.
Yeah.
Right.
Glad to see. Thanks, John, again.
Cheers.
Thanks
a lot.
Right, cheers, pal. Bye. Right, go for it, Paul.
Yep. So, lads, second half, back with myself again. Give me your thoughts on that first half. Where do you think we can improve? I was expecting maybe Griffiths to come on, which just go for it, but it seems to be Taylor. There's no how that Laxell went off, but gee, Griffiths sort of came on as well. Just really go for the second half, you know, because unless we score the first goal, lads, it's going to be a long, long second half. I agree to Pedro. I like to see that the new director of football and coach are watching this, you know, if they're already in the back scenes watching this and they can see where we need to improve and they can actually see what players need to go after this performance. You know, because I think realistically after that first half, you couldn't really say that one player deserves to be there next season the way they played that first half. The Rangers look, the RFC in the ball, they're so much at depth. They're afraid in case the ball goes missing that they can knock to the doors. Did you have a Rangers football kit into your back garden there? Can I check your balls? That's us. SOS RFC in it. That's the Celtic Football Club football. Give us back our ball. Oh! Unlucky, Torn. Unlucky. What? The one thing I will say about this Celtic team is that we kind of normally do step up in the second half of games. You know, I don't know what it is about this season, but we never seem to perform in the first half of games. But hopefully that I'm right that we do step up in the second half, you know. Look at the difference there now in Taylor and Laxell. In Taylor's up at the box, up in the box. Laxell was nowhere near all day. All day he wasn't. Jesus, lads, well done, Scott Brown. Well, come on, Bobby Madden. Come on, like. Christ's sake, he got the freaking hell, like. Of course, the first booking has to go to a Scott Brown tackle then. Of course it does. You know? Clearly got the ball there. And it was from the side, like, it wasn't even from the back. Typical Bobby Madden. We said we let the score 1-0 in case anyone was watching on his goal, that we wouldn't be too far ahead of you. So we kept it at 1-0. So you lads being connected with the live chat. That's why Mark didn't change the scoreboard, because people are watching his goal and they were still in the first half when the second half was on. Oh God, lads, come on. Offside? Offside. At least we got one decision going away, an offside. Jesus. If you're a manager, guys, where would you be thinking of going if you would go 4-4-2, if you would bring Griffiths on? Where would you be thinking of bringing them on? Do you think Kenny will start doing the 60, 50 minutes as Lennon would, or would you do it now, earlier, 50 minutes, and go for it? Do you think? What's your thoughts on that, lads? At least we kind of have some people looking from the ball now to receive it from the back line. As it is Scott Brown that keeps moving the ball from side to side. Is he this problem, the way this style of play is, Scott Brown, that the ball is keep moving from side to side and thing that's not moving forward, it's moving side to side back? Is that Scott Brown doing that? Is that his style of play? Is that why it's good to see him move on next season, that we're going to see a different player coming into that can move the ball forward? Go on, Taylor. I agree with Mark there, saying that Brown has been doing this for years and he dictates the way we're playing. So maybe that's, maybe we might have a different style of play next season with Brown moving on. I know he's been a great servant and he's been a massive player for us over the years, but I've just watched him there the last couple of minutes there when he received the ball. It's actually him that's passing the ball side to side, back and forth. He doesn't really kind of put a ball forward, really. He'd prove me wrong here now, do it. No, he hasn't. you know. Still a bit frustrating now, isn't it, this second half? I actually can't see where a goal would come from. You know, the way we're playing, I can't see where a goal would come from. You know, I agree with you, Jeffy, that Brown has lost a yard, but would you think we should have started with Zorro in this match? So for change instead of Brown, should we have started Zorro to get more legs into that midfield? We need something to step up to the plate, lads. We need something to create something. We need something to think, but just not seeing it. You know, just not seeing it. This has been really poor. I don't think I've heard Elanusi mentioned once in the game. I just hasn't been in this game at all. Is that because we're actually not getting the ball forward to the front three? You know, I mean, look at their players now looking to receive the ball, crying for the ball. I haven't seen one Celtic player looking to receive the ball so far in this game. Everyone seems to be shying away from receiving the ball as if they don't want it. I think Kennedy needs to make subs now, change this formation, because it's obviously we're seeing it like this formation isn't working. This one up front formation just isn't working for us. Edward just looks like a lost chicken up front. He doesn't. I agree with you, Pedro. Wow, next season will be all changed. New CEO, director, football, new coach, and half a new busload, not packs of players. I think so, because gonna lot no players. I said I can't see many of these players being here next season after this season, obviously, and what I'm seeing today. Unless a new manager comes in, he's able to improve the way they play, like Brendan Rodgers did and Ronnie Dyler did. But geez, lads, this has been ridiculous. Edward trying a simple flick there, like just put it in the goal, like, you know, put it in the goal. Like, there's no need for that flick there, you know. I think that just sums up Edward this season, doesn't it? He kind of got a lot wrong, really, didn't he? You know. Lost chicken is an Irish saying, and someone doesn't have a clue. The Irish slang is much more different to the Scottish slang, because some days he'd be putting stuff up in that live chat and I don't have a clue what he'd be saying. Quietly test Mark to see, explain that to me there, see what they say before I send a text back to you. Look at that, just look what Elyounoussi does, what he can do when he gets on the ball. Like, so we need to get more of the ball to Elyounoussi. You know, get him the ball. Like, you know, Griffiths looks frustrated on the bench. You know, would you blame Griffiths watching this? You know, he'd let us down, lads, but short because he can't be any worse than what's on the pitch at the moment. A headless chicken. Oh yes, I knew it didn't sound right. The joys of live TV, JFP. Go on, Edward. Go on, Links. Oh, God. Fuck, Jesus, the first touch there. At least we're trying to create more chances, aren't we? You know, we get at this defence, because this Rangers defence, lads, is weak as well. Like, you know, get at their defence, like, you know, that's just really his first touch. He should have hit it there, shouldn't he? Oh, first touch just took it away from him. Oh. Done Welch. Are you quietly confident in this back four for next season, lads? Your thoughts on that? What do we need to improve this back line? You know, what positions do we need to improve in this back line? Centre backs, left back, right back, a whole new defence. Lucky there again. Lucky there again. That's where we could get caught now again in the second half, you know, pressing to get the goal, you know, it's going to, you know, if we get an early goal, like we could rattle them, you know, and get back in the game, you know, but it just gives me fears like that we're 2-0 down, we're chasing the game, that we're going to open up spaces for them to attack, you know. Steph Boy's probably out getting a bottle of vodka after his 50-euro voucher to join his service during this game. Or is he going to be using it to get a bus up to Celtic Park and stand outside the stadium after this game? Whatever it is, Steph Boy, enjoy your 50 euro. Thought it was a bit unfair that I couldn't enter it, but we won't get into that today. Go on, Turner. Are we going to see that Turner being taken off today, lads? By Kenny, the usual substitute, the usual scapegoat. Turner being substitute instead of Christie. Kenny telling Edward to push up in the ball, and he just does this lazy run of an effort to get forward, to get the ball back, like, you know, it's just a lazy run, like, you know. If he's not going to go 4-2 up, lads, would you take Edward off and bring on Griffiths or Yessie, or would you take off Edwards altogether instead of going to 2 up front, or would you like to see the 2 up front? At least with Taylor back, he seems to be trying to get ahead of the player for the ball. He seems to be kind of pushing instead of Laxell. I agree, Mark. It could be more he takes off, but would you take him off more? He's really feeding on scraps, isn't he? Kind of hasn't received the ball, so Jesus. I agree, Pedro. I think Project will come on. You know, and if he does, I really do think he'll come on. I think he'll take Torrell off for Project, I think. We'll be seriously lacking pace then, and is what we need. We actually lack it now, even though we have a. If you were watching this, lads, if you were the new manager watching this game, and you're thinking to yourself, geez, this team is bad. There's a big rebuild to be done there. What's your thoughts if you were the new manager coming in next season? You're watching this match. What would your thoughts be about what you have to do to improve this team next season? I agree with you, Pedro Taylor isn't a first choice left back, but he's the best of what we have at the moment, isn't he? You know, he's the best of what we have because Laxell was a loose cannon out there in the first half. He just was all over the place. You know, and I would have thought if he would have stayed on, he would have got booked and he would have got sent off. Connor. In it, the talents we have don't have coaching or attitude. I agree with this team. You know, out here this today just doesn't seem to be know what they're doing. It's a totally different team that we saw last week against Livingston. Like, this is a totally different team that we saw. It's ridiculous. 30 million is not enough for a new manager. Derek McHugh says. Derek, what do you think we need for this rebuild? How much do you think that needs to be invested for next season with this team? So how much do you think Celtic will invest is the question. we need subs now. I've been saying that. We don't that he needs to get Griffiths on, change his formation because this isn't working. Still frustrating, lads, to watch. You know, John Kent needs to change something in this last 20 minutes of this game. The way things are, lads, we're going out of the cup, and it's been one of the worst seasons I can remember in a long, long time for Celtic, and I'm saying that a long, long time. I agree with that. Glasgow Green, once again, we have shown nothing awful. It's like we just talked up the way we were all season in this game. Just very, very poor. You know, very poor. I agree to Jeffy, they spent wisely, and I think that's a lot. Myself and Marcus spoke that a lot in the podcast, that playing just spent wisely. They spent on players who suited Brendan Rodgers' structure in the club, that players he wanted, they spent it wisely, but we seem to be buying players who actually don't fit into our style of play, or players that aren't good enough for six. So I think I agree with you, said if we have 30 million needs to be spent wisely next season. Tom Rock says, how much of this garbage is because there's no fans? Is that a factor here, lads, that we have no fans in the stadium? Is that a factor here? Do you think has that been a factor this season? Has that affected the team? Or should they have professionals? They should be able to adjust it, but we've seen a lot of teams across Europe that has affected this season that have no fans, like Juventus, Liverpool. You know, has that affected us? Beaton looks to be coming on. Is he? Are injured his shoulder? This is a massive blow now. Oyer comes off. Massive blow. He has been our best player all season, has Oyer? I agree to Jeffrey. They spent money on players who are substandard, that they haven't really bought players that could come in and make a difference to this Celtic team. You know, that the players they've signed haven't improved us, haven't improved the positions we have. So I agree totally there. Here's Griffiths. I agree. It's helped them, like, because last season the Rangers fans were on their backs, and you know it has affected us. You know, because when Celtic go 1-0 down or things like that, you guarantee the Celtic faithful will get behind the team and boost them on. You know, it has affected us. So Tom Rocks, there's your answer to that. Hopefully now we can start picking things up last 15 minutes with Griffiths on. But I mean, Bobby, man, that was an elbow, like, that was an elbow, and you're straight in front when you give a yellow card. That was an elbow, like. I've seen you give red cards for worse. Where's the goal coming from, lads? Can you see a goal coming? You know? Thanks very much, Tom. And I hope you all appreciating the commentary I'm giving today. It's my first time ever doing something like this. You know, so I was going to be doing it for the Scottish Cup run, but for some reason I don't think that's going to be continued for the Scottish Cup run the way this team is playing at the moment. Look, give us your thoughts. Is this something that we should carry on doing the watch along for you lads, or for change of the live chat on the forum? Would you like to see more watch alongs going forward from myself and Mark? Has this result been expected, lads? Do you know, with this team this season that we've been so unpredictable? You know, has this come as a surprise to you? This match so far, or you know that we've been bad all season. Like, does this result surprise you with this team this season, or should we be more disappointed than we actually are? That, you know, we've been bad all season, so does it surprise you that we've been so bad today? JFE said it's not exactly a shock. I agree to JFE. It's not actually a shock, but I honestly thought we would be better. You know, I thought we'd be up for it. Look at Morales again trying to get involved. Look at him again trying to get involved. Sit down, boy. Sit down. I tell you, if I was playing against him, his leg would be broken down. Go, he wouldn't even be playing this match. His leg would be broken in the first Celtic Rangers game. The state of him, little fatty, big chubby man boobs in him. You can see him clearly popping out of his. I'm surprised that Georgie didn't rip under the underline of the man boobs. Tell a handball. Penalty, lads, penalty. Come on. Clearly a penalty. Clearly pushed him out of the way. Clearly. Come on, Griffiths. Edward. Confusion again between. That doesn't help, lads, does it? Two players wanting to take the penalty. Doesn't help. Come on, Edward, lads. Rattle on. Get this score, lads, in the last 12 minutes of the game. Come on. Beat this cunt, McGregor. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That just sums up him this season now. That just sums up his season. Griffiths wanted a penalty. Let Griffiths take it. You had a bad season all season, like. Shocking penalty. It wasn't even right in the corner. It was a shocking penalty. Shocking. Take the money, lads. Let him go. Bye, Edward. You've let us down this season. That was just shocking. Shocking penalty. That was a bad penalty. That was a chance to get back in the game. Griffiths wanted to take it. You know, Edward then take, but that was, oh my God, Edward, that was a bad penalty. I agree with you, Jeffrey. Get him away from the club. You know, he's let us down this season big time, and for him to, that penalty was shocking penalty. I can't believe it. Like, you know, it wasn't even right in the columns. A nice height and everything for Greg to save. Like, you know, it's a shocking penalty. Again, we're letting him, McGregor, be the star of the show again for Rangers. Like, you know, again, like, of all people, like. Mark says it's like Lincoln McKean against fair play chat. Fair play chat. I mean, like, come on. I agree with you, Pedro. I won't play him. I won't play Edward. He clearly does want to be here. These misses he missing are basic chances that he should be scoring. And that penalty was just ridiculous. You know? Get back, Roof, you fucking idiot. Who let the dogs out? Roof, 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 Roof. So cheer you up a small bit there with my song for Roof. I agree, Pedro. Let's try to get the young players involved. Like, there's nothing to play for now this season. You know, get them in between the first team this season for the new manager. I think John Kennedy knows now he's not going to be the manager, but get him prepared for the next manager that comes in at least. You know, we can't depend on these players anymore because they really let us down. I'm not speaking about one or two players. I'm speaking about the whole team. Like, this whole team has really let us down. I don't think you can kind of blame Welsh because he came in and he's done well. You know, but this team has been very, very poor this season. You know, I actually can't explain where it all went wrong this season. You know, that there's some things happen behind the scenes that we actually don't know about that really happened. You know. What's your thoughts on brother Malin today, lads? Has he done well in the match so far? Your thoughts on the refereeing? Can we blame the referee for this result today, do you think, or was a lot of our own doing? don't think there's no excuses that John Kennedy can make for this team today. No excuses. They've just been shocking today. No excuse for this style of to play. Tom Rock said, "I take Roy Keane right now." Was never for him, but we need fire. Is that the type of man you need, lads, to get these players up off their toes? You know? I agree with you, Mac. I was just thinking it myself. I was just going to put it out there. What's the guess you're going to do in 5 minutes? What's the point of that sub? What's he going to do in 5 minutes? You know, these subs should have made all you want. He knows that 5 minutes, like, is ridiculous to being on a centre forward when you're chasing 2 goals. Ridiculous. You know? I think we're just seeing the lack of inexperience by John Kenny as a manager, and that he should be nowhere near this first team next season, that he shouldn't even be considered as manager for next season, because he's clearly shown us today that he's not up for this job and this rebuild that needs to be done next season. Come on, Taylor. Jesus. Tom Rockside, lovely singing voice, but that's for another show. Paul's greatest hits. But unfortunately, I'm not in the mood to be doing my greatest hits today, but that's something down the line myself and Mark will talk about when we'll do the podcast. We'll do a Paul greatest hits. Just joking, lads. Don't be expecting me to be sitting down on live YouTube. Is that the best run we've seen from Edward chasing McGregor with the ball in his hands all day? Mark says we'll reflect after my suggestion about Paul greatest hits. I tell you, lads, you won't be surprised what comes out of my mouth, so just, we definitely won't be hearing me singing anyway, I can tell you that. It just sums up our season, lads, don't it? This game, that the way we've been so poor this season. You know, I really thought we were going to be on this game from the start, you know, pressuring Rangers, be on the front foot, but I saw nothing today. I've seen a team that's been playing like this all season. We talked up for 2 games, you know, and it's just been ridiculous, lads. Just been ridiculous. Has it surprised me? Not really, but it is a shock, you know. I think is Pilar thinking, how did I get it all wrong this season? But you got it all wrong by appointing Neil Lennon as manager, you know, and not bringing in a manager the same calibre as we had with Brendan Rodgers. That's where you got it wrong, Peter Lord. Tom Rocks, I think you're very hopeful. Still time. One goal and it's on. Absolutely shocking, lads. This is absolutely shocking. Hopefully, in some time that these things will come out. What went wrong with Celtic this season, we'll hear about it because, you know, explanation needs to be said to the fans. Like, how did this season become so bad, and how did this team down tools for the manager, for the players? Like, what went on behind the scenes? What was going on? You know, us, the Celtic fans, we've been faithful to the club for years, getting our season tickets and going and getting our season tickets next season. An explanation needs to be said about this season to the fans, you know, what went wrong. I don't think it's just the forward players we can blame for this season. Fitness guy, I think it's the whole team, but I agree with you that the chances we missed is these clear-cut chances that really these players should be putting away. But you know, I think we can pick out numerous players from this season where we collapsed and who've let us down. You know, not just the forwards. You know, it's numerous players we can pick out for this season. I agree with you, Optimist Paul. I wasn't quietly confident when I said Edward coming up taking that penalty when he told Griffiths to kind of shove away. That I wasn't confident in Edward taking that penalty, and I knew it. Where do we go from here, lads? You know, after this result, you know, where do we go from here? Jeffrey said Edward shouldn't wear the hoops anymore. I've been saying it for last couple of things, lads, about French players, you know, that they have an attitude, and if things don't go their way, they down tools. You look at Julian, you look at Encham, Edward, Anelka. You can name numerous French players. I think we need to scout a different market than France, and you know, because down the line, if we're going to be signing French players all the time, you're going to have this same situation over and over again with French players, because that's just the character that they are. Doug McHugh said, who will be player of the year? Don't know really, but Mark says Welch. What's your thoughts on that, lads? Player of the year? Man of the match, even? Can you pick a man of the match out of this game today? I find that very hard. Lads, that's it. Thanks very much for joining me, Paul, and the first ever Celtic Rumours watch along. If you enjoyed it, we'll move on and we'll do more. So, for myself, Paul, thanks very much for tuning in. Mark, you there?
I'm here, Paul. It's JFP coming on, aye.
Yeah.
That was atrocious. Really,
Oh,
no words for that. Just absolute.
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting this performance, Mark. You know, I wasn't. We spoke before the match. I thought that we'll see a totally different team up for the game today, but this team just showed what they were about this season. Poor.
I mean, they didn't really put much pressure on us either. And Edward with that miss, just put your laces through that. That was. I don't know why you tried.
I believe we've John on the line, lads. John's on the line.
Yeah,
JFP from the forum.
Hi, John.
John, your thoughts on the match?
No.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, hear you.
Oh, you guys are quite faint, but as long as you can hear me.
Your thoughts on the match, John? Were you expecting that?
Absolutely dire.
You know, I wasn't expecting this. You know, I was expecting a team out to prove a point that they are the best team in Scotland today, and I was just proved the opposite. Really, that it was the team that turned up all season, wasn't it? You know, you there, John?
Paul, I've got that. I'm just hearing the echo again.
Do you have YouTube on?
I do have YouTube on. I do.
Take off YouTube, so maybe, yeah, close YouTube, maybe, yeah.
That's what happened the first time. Is that better?
Oh, that's a lot
better, yeah.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
Right, just absolutely dire. It's just, where do you start?
It was like
you guys.
Team, weren't it?
Well, I've not seen the game. I've not seen the game. You guys have seen the game. I've not got the benefit. I'm tuning into you guys on YouTube. I'm on the live chat. I've not got the benefit of seeing the game. So the question I've got for you is did we show that we had the balls for this again today, or is it just another non-event? I mean, where I don't know where we start. Is it really a shock? I thought we had enough as win the game today.
I was too. I was very confident. You know.
I thought, but let's stand back for it. I think it's time. I think it's time. Maybe we all, me included, have a wee bit of a reality check here. I don't think there's a clear out needed here.
A big clear out, I think. I don't think
you're I don't think you're at the point where we're asking who goes next year. I think it would be easier to ask the question who stays.
Yeah, I think going after this match, like I wouldn't be very confident any player.
Eddie, for me, he should be in the London Road waiting in a taxi tonight. Hopefully Kennedy's burst the ball for his cell.
It's a clear shot.
When I saw Edward come up taking that penalty, you know, sorry Mark, when I saw Edward come up taking that penalty, I knew for a fact we were going to miss it, because the way he's played all season, I wasn't confident that he was going to score that penalty. And when I saw the argument between himself and Griffiths, I knew that penalty was going to be missed. You know.
I thought the day that there was two factors. I think I posted it this morning. There was two factors today for me, was the two men in the respective dugouts, and who wanted it the most. Now I think we lost it on both fronts. A wee bit an interesting story. I remember when I do a bit of work for a London-based company, and at the time when we signed Dembele, one of the guys that works for the company, he said to me, "You're signing this guy from us." I can't remember where he came from.
Fulham it was.
That's right. He was a Fulham fan. He says, "You're signing this guy for us." He says, you're signing him for $500,000 or whatever it was. He says, "You'll sell him for 30 million one day." And I thought, see, when I saw Dembele playing the first time, I thought we'd be lucky if we get our $500,000 back. But as it panned out, he wasn't far away. Well, the other thing he said to me, before your man across the water joined them, he said, the same man said to me, Stevie G is going to your rivals. And he says, the word on the street, he's as thick as mince and could hardly pass his coaching badge in terms of putting it down on paper. But he's considered an excellent coach on the park. Now,
Well,
I think
Michael Beale, he's the brains behind it all. Michael
he could be.
does it all for him.
He could be behind it as well. He gets a good name too. He's also got your man there as well. What do you call him? The ex-Scotland international. What's his name?
Gary Callister.
See, whatever the reason is, and it pains me. I wouldn't even say it if I thought there was anyone listening in here, because I see there was a few of them trying to get under the radar on the YouTube today. But you look at the results in Europe. They've obviously spent wisely. They're playing a system. To me, they look bang average. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to say anything more positive about them. But the results in Europe, and maybe they've had the mark on us for the last few times. Other than the last time where we'd maybe a bit in the game and we should have done better. But really, they've had the misery of us for the last half a dozen times now. And if you even get way back to before Rodgers departed, he was starting to get the measure on us there too. We need that. I think I'm going to have to get back. Mark and I were agreeing a few weeks ago that we didn't think the overhaul was as bad as some people were suggesting. I think we need a pull through a Christmas tree. I think seriously needing top to bottom.
Top to bottom. It's not just the first team, George. It's the whole structure within the club, isn't it?
You're talking about director of football. Somebody's on the live chat there saying penny pinching board. Celtic spent money, and we retained the big players that with 2020 hindsight would have been better letting go. But
is that a lot to do with our scouting? Is well, John? Do you think that we're looking at these players and we seem to be going for the cheaper option than what's recommended to piece it all off?
We did spend money. I don't know how it would stack up pound for pound against them, but. How many players that we spent money on were worthy of first team place? So you've got a manager, director of football. You've got recruitment to look at here. You've got what players would you keep? Who would you keep that Disney want away? Who seriously would you keep that Disney want away here? Forrest. Who else? Potentially. Potentially Ayer once away, eh?
Yeah, yeah, that's only
if Calmac once away, Nelly. Who would you?
How many times did McGregor touch the ball today?
Well, I didn't see it. I'm going with you guys.
I don't think I've mentioned him once, Mark, once or twice in the live chat, and that's the only reason I was saying that he hasn't touched the ball. I think that was it.
Paul, the highlight of my day, that's the best commentary I've heard in half a century. I'm telling you. It was,
I wanted to get you used to the Roy Keane accent for the next year and a half lines.
the two things I learned, that was excellent. I thought the one thing I learned was that Eddie was a heedless chicken and their goalkeeper was, and I'll not say the word that he was, but we all know anyway. But you'd have Rogic away, you'd have Christie away, you've had Griffiths away, Eddie's away, Calmac's potentially away. Who have you got left? This is the biggest rebuild you've had since Martin O'Neill, I think.
Without doubt. We only said that in the podcast. This is the biggest rebuild that we had since the Martin O'Neill era, and I think I'm going back to what you said, JFP, on the live chat there. It's going back to signing players, and I agree totally. The Rangers didn't spend more than us, but they spent wisely. They spent players that fitted Rodgers' structure, and we seem to not signing players who are going to come in to improve the squad. They're not going. The players we're signing aren't breaking into the first team to make a difference. When Gerrard and Rangers have spent players who have made a difference in that team.
The thing I was thinking when I was listening to today was, as the new manager watching this, I don't know. That would have been the plus side of bringing the guy in early. But if the new manager's no watching this, you're potentially behind the 8 ball again, even for next season. If he comes in, you would like to think that the new manager is in the wings watching this. What do you think, Mark? Do you think he is? Yeah.
I think he must be. I think everybody in Britain would have been watching the game today, so I don't see how like somebody like Eddie Howe that wouldn't it be? But I'd like to think that they're starting the build, but we don't know about it yet as well. Do you know what I mean, John? That whoever saying right, I fancy this guy, we can pick him up for $4 million because he's only got a year left in his contract.
mean, the question that's getting asked here, and everybody's asking it, and it's been a good question. Welshie was talking about. I thought Welshie was excellent when he was speaking about it the other night. Talking about season tickets. Right now, somebody's just about to ask me, my laddie, for over $1,000 again to get into a stadium that we don't even know if we're going to get back into again.
Exactly.
We don't know them. We don't know what they say. We don't know whether. We don't know whether Dermot Deson's booting the cat up and down the living room there, whether he doesn't care. We don't know. I don't know the answer to that question yet. And somebody's going to ask me, we've already forked out that money this year for nothing. No added value, as Welshie was talking about. We're potentially not even in back in again. They're going to have to. I mean, I've said this, and Welshie touched on it as well. I'll be renewing my ticket because I've not got enough years left that I would want to miss. But seeing Celtic, and after a year we've had, I would just love to be back at Celtic Park again.
Exactly.
So that's a no-brainer for me. But I can see how many other people would be thinking, come on Celtic, show me your hand here.
Well, you often, why you been so quiet? Like, what's your plans for next season? Show me why I should kind of renew my season ticket, John. That kind of way,
Our parish priest said to me a while ago. He said, one night I was serving the altar with him, and he said to me, have you got a season ticket this year? This was months ago. I says, aye, me and my laddie's got one. He says, that's charity. And I thought, you're exactly right. That is what it is. It's charity. Now, I think for Celtic, you're really looking for Celtic to show their hand and tell us, hey, what's your plans for next year, guys? You would like to think
do you think we're expecting some announcement next week when Dominic McCoy comes in, John? Do you think?
I was thinking today, after today, you would like to think there would be something. There would be something that maybe they were going to play an ace tomorrow, whether that's Harkins, Hughes, whoever it is they're bringing in. You would like to think there would be something, because I mean today it doesn't get any lower now. You've handed them effectively a double.
Exactly. I thought my thoughts were like, with the season being so poor this season, like that this team would have turned up today, being Scott Brown's, and to me Scott Brown was one of the poorest players on the pitch there. And I've been saying it, like I put on the live chat. Is Scott Brown leaving a good team next season? I know we would like him to stay for the rebuild and stuff like that, but I was watching him closely the match because I was doing the watch along, and I kind of didn't take notice of it when I'd be watching matches. He's the one who seems to be passing the ball back and side to side a lot.
Paul, I'm reluctant to be the same as I would never criticise Big Duffy. We all know what we know, and nobody will be more disappointed than him this season. Brown's the same. Brown for me, Brown has earned the right for me not to be sitting here criticised him. I think he's lost half a yard. He's like the rest. There comes a time when old age just catches up with you. That's the bottom line. Scott Brown's not any different from Paul McStay and Tommy Burns and all the people before him that somewhere along the line that you just don't have the legs that you did have. So I'm not going to criticise.
Would you have liked to see Zorro play in this match just to give us that legs, because it seems to be the kind of area, if you in the Celtic and Rangers games, that the midfield is the area that needs to be run.
Well, I think John's United Island. John summed this up before a game where he said the game's won and lost in the middle of the park, and Mark said the same thing as well. I don't think Scott Brown has had the engine to play in these games and shut players down the way he used to break. I mean, there was nobody better at it than Neil Lennon than breaking.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Neil Lennon pass the ball further than 6 yards, but he could break the play up, and he was a spoiler. And Bryn was a similar type of player, and I don't think he is the engine for.
And when your legs go, when you're that style of player, when your legs go, it kind of takes away your character as a player, don't it? You're not able to do that job what you're kind of known for, isn't it?
Midfield must be the hardest. It must be the hardest place to play, and I think anybody that's tried to play at any level knows what it's like when you get to that age when you think I should be over there, but I can't be.
Mm-hmm. Just a question there for the two of you, Mark. I start with you. Like, if you were director of football and if you are manager, watching this Celtic team today and just watching them as a whole over the season, what are you saying to yourself? Where do you start? You think? At the rebuild next season.
I would say it's a team playing without any confidence. That's Well, that's one of the main things. There's been no confidence in the team. They're not playing with any confidence or fluidity. That the first thing it would be to try and get their heads straight. You know what I mean? That's the main. No, I mean, because they're good players. We know that.
We talked about there the other day, Mark, like that going even like things like going out for a game of golf, you know, kind of team bonding. Like there was none of that really this season.
Nothing.
I think you're right, Mark. I think one of the things I was thinking this, I thought it for the last wee while as well. They players are better than they're showing. You know, they've not a lot of them's not become bad players overnight, but they've not got the heart for this now. I think there's failings in two fronts. It looks to me as if there's a head problem, a heart problem. And plus the basics of coaching. I mean, set pieces, for example. You know, there looks like a coaching problem, there looks a heart problem, and there looks a
I'm surprised at that, you know, John. I'm surprised at that, like the heart problem. And I know the coaching thing now, and Neil Lennon wasn't the best coach or technician or stuff like that. But I'm surprised at the team, like the lack of heart this season and passion for the club, because you couldn't take that away from Neil Lennon, his heart and his love from the club, and how that team didn't aspire to take that from Neil Lennon.
Many red cards have we got tonight, Paul? Many red cards that Celtic
and I can't remember a red card that we got all season, to be honest. Only the Beast on one.
Many bookings did we get today?
One. You know, the fight's gone.
Well, we should have had 7. if we get beat like that.
But no, I understand what you're saying, John. It's they're not showing any passion for the jersey. Or,
no.
I see it quite often, professional pride. I mean, if you're a Celtic player walking off the day after putting in that performance, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Mark, see if there was a day for the first 5 minutes here, somebody to put McGregor in the net, somebody else to give somebody else a nose full of red ash. That's what the day was asking for. Somebody for us to go and stamp our authority in that game in the first 10, 15 minutes. And we've allowed it. And we've went out there as lambs. But for what I can hear, I've not the benefit of seeing the game today. But it sounds like lambs to a slaughter to me again today.
See the way the game went. We missed a penalty. And we kept it. Edward, he should have just put his laces through it. It was like a volley, but he's tried to flick it with his side his foot, putting his laces through it for about 7 yards, and it went fleeing over the bar. So enough chances, but we wouldn't have deserved it. But they weren't that great either. We weren't under much pressure either.
No, they were too bad defending goals again, Mark, weren't they?
Oh, I tell you something else. You don't need the other lesson. The big flashing light to Celtic. This year should be as well the value of a goalkeeper. I said
that for years, John. I said that for years. We always had Foster. We had the good Gordon, a goalkeeper, Craig Gordon, good shot stopper.
See, historically through the years, they've always had good goalkeepers, and Celtic's never. Celtic, probably we've had some of their best goalkeepers, maybe in recent years, but they always had a good goalkeeper. But
they did.
See when McGregor came back to them, I said to Kieran at the time, he's worth 20 points to them in the season. I tell you, and by the sound of it, and I've not watched the game today, as I've said, but it sounds to me as if he could hand him half a cup today as well.
Yeah, and do you know what the best thing you could say about the likes of bringing back McGregor and a player like that is his actually love for Rangers.
100%. You know, we've not got anybody in our team that was willing to go and get their fingers up McGregor's nostrils today and show the feeling for Celtic that McGregor's got for them. We're just I don't know, too nice.
I think so. I don't know. We seem to be. I remember growing up watching Celtic matches, and the likes of the one that tackled that always sticks to mind to me is Alan Thompson when he went straight into that tackle and he got sent off. You don't see that from these players anymore. They don't put their body on the line anymore, so they don't. Obviously, they're afraid to get injured or something like that.
Obviously, the reason I'm not managing Celtic, but I'd had McGregor in the net twice a day in the first 15 minutes and took a notion off him. Yeah,
make a statement. If you get a booking, you get a booking, but you make a statement.
You're back here with nothing again. You've not even got a red card to be proud of. Nothing. I mean, that's all I can hear from about me here's parties. and cancer here in Gardens pot. What's Dermot Desmond doing tonight? Is he feeling it the way we're feeling it? I hope so.
That's a good question, John. That's a good question. Is he feeling it to where we're feeling it? Because I wasn't so much. Of course, I'm disappointed with the result and I've got result, but it's more hurt to me the way we played today, the way I saw the players playing. There was no heart, there was no fight. That hurted me the most, and I think that was the most of the season. Is how I'm hurt by the way the players let the club down this season.
But the last, as I say, potentially with the exception of the last game when we maybe had the better, you could argue you maybe had the game. The last half a dozen times against them, it's been I can handle a defeat. I can take defeat. But it's the manner of the defeat. It's just a lack of heart.
Exactly. That's it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the lack of the manner of the defeat, the way we played. That's what hurt the most. Like, and those players today, they really did let us down. Not just today, but all season. Like they let us down.
Back to the question I asked you, and I was asking you as well, Mark. The first day when I was on a couple of weeks ago, is there a bigger problem here at Celtic Park?
I think so. I think there's a lot we don't know, Mark. Your thoughts?
We've talked about the disconnect before. Is there a bigger problem here?
There's massive problems, multiple problems.
I think you're right.
See, it's just it's massive. It's not even a pile of wee problems. Do you know what I mean? It can get sorted out with this or that. This is massive. The problems with the squad, the problems with the recruitment. I've said it before. I think I put it at Lovell's door. It's him. It's got to have been him.
I think it's beginning to look as if he's had he's certainly played his part, but he's still there. I mean, Neil Lennon's away now. Kennedy's there. As I say, I'd like to think the new man sitting in the wings watching this. But I mean, is the problems only at that level? Are they only at director of football, only at recruitment, only at managerial level? Are we dealing with something here? We've spoke about it. There's been a growing disconnect over the season, but there's always the whole smell of the club.
I think there's a lot more, John, that we don't know.
100%.
We have that club, and that's, I think, when we read out that statement there from who was it, John? Celtic for Change 21.
Yep.
That they're asking for change, the lack of communication between Celtic and board and the fans, and there's a great example because something definitely went on this season. I don't just think it from I think it's from the very start of the season.
Paul,
Joe the qualifier, something happened.
What I said to you a while back, a few weeks ago, Paul, was see 10, 20 years you'd have been some of the statements that came from Celtic Park. Some of the things that they let themselves get drawn into, you're thinking. You're not even seeing the same professional. We've been the epitome of professionalism for the last 10, 20 years when they've floundered from one disaster to the next. Mm-hmm. But just now you're thinking, am I confident that board in there, Dermot Desmond, has got the solution up their sleeve and the professionalism to sort this? I'm not sitting here feeling that.
I throw a question at you, John, that I threw to Mark and United Ireland there during the week. Would you be happy if Dermot Desmond decide to sell his shares in Celtic in the morning and have a new buyer come in and a new approach in the club? Has Dermot Desmond been there too long?
The only man, I think the man that needs to answer that is the only. I don't know Dermot Desmond. I don't know the man for Adam. Don't know anything about him. But what I would say is to answer that question. The question I would need to ask Dermot Desmond first is Dermot Desmond is up for the fight as he was 20 years ago or up 10 years ago when he was willing to.
I think that's a good answer. Yeah, exactly.
If the only person that can answer that question is Dermot Desmond. Now, see if Dermot Desmond's answer to that question is aye, fine, say and do what you need to do. See if his answer to that question is no, well, let it go to somebody that is.
I think his next statement is going to be who's going to be the next director of football, who the next manager is going to be. That's going to be a big statement from him.
See this staying in the dark, treating us like mushrooms, keeping us in the dark and feeding us shit while he hits a wee white ball with a big stick. That's no good enough. Somebody needs to come in and tell us what's happening here. Particularly after that again the day. That's another surrender here the day again.
Oh, exactly. And there's no other word for it.
I'm
surrender.
I'm quite happy to go and put my hand in my pocket, me and my lad, and go and fund it again for another. He's more than happy to do that. But I think as a minimum, we're due somebody come in and tell me what the plan is first.
You'd like to see you like to see the players have passion for the club, like, because I haven't seen that season. I haven't seen one player, like we say, had passion for that club this season.
There's more passion. There's more passion in Govan.
Yeah, and it's coming from the top, as you said, lads. It is coming from the top. Something has happened in the top that has fed through the whole first team, and it's fed through the whole club. Something that we actually don't know about, and I don't think it ever will come out. Mark, do you think?
No, I don't think it will ever come out, because we've all got these non-disclosure agreements. You'll hear wee bits and pieces of gossip, but you'll never find out the real details about anything that falling outs or that. But I think that was a great point with John there about asking Dermot Desmond if he's up for a fight. Obviously, we're not the people to do that, but hopefully his actions in the next week or two will show us that he's up for a fight.
That's going to be the thing that we know he's intended up for the fight, is what his next three approaches are going to be: the director of football, the new CEO, and the manager.
Well,
Do we need a whole first team coaching staff, lads? A lot of people have said, like, Kennedy, like, well, obviously we don't want it. We've seen today that he's not up for the job of manager. We've seen that, and Mark said it, and I've said it, that he's not up for it. Should he be part of the new coaching squad, John, in your opinion, or should we have a total different first team coach? Get rid of the whole lot there. Let the new manager bring his coaching staff.
My gut feeling is it's new brush time, and I know that Rodgers apparently wanted to take William, and he's well thought, etc. But I think when you've been part of the background there for so many managers and so many that's came and went now, I think it's time for John Kennedy to go this time. That's just my gut. That's just my gut feeling.
And I would agree with you. I think he's been. If he is up for a job, go out and prove it now. And it's hard to prove himself to the Scottish game, isn't it? You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to get a look at down the Championship, or maybe a League 2 team or League 3 down in, see if he can get them promoted. Like, I know we spoke about Eddie Howe, but that's what Eddie Howe did. Like, he took over Bournemouth, he got him up through the leagues. He's proved that he can do that. Is in your opinion, is Eddie Howe the right man for this rebuild? Do you think that's needed, John?
Well, I mean, my question about Eddie Howe is Eddie Howe.
Is he committed to us?
It's Eddie Howe rather than Eddie Howe. I mean, I don't see anything in Eddie's. I don't see anything in Eddie Howe's CV to get me excited. I said the other week that I don't think he's a cultural good fit, and somebody came on the banner page and says, "Do I mean by that he's a Celtic man?" I said, "No, he doesn't need to be a Celtic man." I watched Celtic winning nothing in pairs. Paul McStay, Peter Grant, Tommy Burns breaking their heart on the park, but they weren't good enough as to stop them doing the 9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Equally, I watched a man in Larson who was a step removed from it and almost benefited from being that step removed. But I just don't even think. One, I don't think Eddie Howe's I don't think his CV warrants him getting a crack at it, and I don't think he's a culturally he's a good fit. I can't remember how far north he's been. I think Eddie Howe and I think Glasgow will be a culture shock to Eddie Howe. That's my gut feeling.
I'd agree with that, John, as well. I don't think it's going to be a struggle for him when if it is Eddie Howe, when he actually lands the job and realises the pressure and what it's like to be manager of Celtic.
100%. Yep.
Just going back to the light comment there, lads, a lot of us saying like that Craig Gordon, like that was a big mistake in letting Craig Gordon go when we did. We could have done Craig Gordon this season, couldn't we?
But we just spent £5 million on a keeper. It's all right.
Keeper?
No, it's all right looking at these things in hindsight. But we just spent £5 million on a keeper. With the transfer window shut, I said the other night, the transfer window shut, we were all delighted.
Quite happy with it, yeah.
We were all delighted, and it's only now people, we should have kept Gordon, we should have done this. But nobody was saying that when we said, well, a couple of guys says we could have kept Gordon as a number.
Well, in saying that then, how is that down to the coaching staff that we're not able to help these players improve to get into the first team, or are these players that we signed just not good enough to get in the first team, or is it up to, like we sing with Brendan Rodgers and Roddy Dow, they were able to improve players? Is that down to the lack of Neil Lennon's
I think
knowledge?
I think some of these new players have come in and thought, kind of says, It wasn't like this down in the Premier League, or it wasn't like this over in Greece. And they've seen like the message that they were see under Lennon. They've seen how it's been organised and that, and they've just thought this isn't for me. I'm not trying to like you. I honestly think that's what's happened to the likes of Jetty. Although we've heard that he's not a very nice person and things like that, but I thought of Jetty. It's unbelievable that he's no fit.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's
at this stage in the season, and I think he's came in, saw what it was like under Lennon, and thought, nah, this isn't for me. This is a bit tin pot. Do you know what I mean? With the coaching and the training wise in that, I think that's maybe what it's done. Just a wee, we spoke about it, but the standards have slipped. You know what I mean? We got him for West Ham. West Ham will have deal Premier League standards across the board.
Has that? Do you think our standards has dropped on the land, like the fitness, coaching, training? Have they all dropped since Neil Lennon came in? And I don't want to be putting all the blame on Neil Lennon because it's going forward than Neil Lennon. Do you know what I mean? But
Paul, I mean, you're probably getting me a bit. I just, it's just so right at this moment in time the way this season's going. The day's just rubbed, and you're probably speaking to me in a bad night. I'm not as bad as I was when I was younger when we get beat to them, but it's certainly I never cease to amaze myself just how bad it still feels. But I would love to be able to lay this at Neil Lennon's door, but as I'm sitting here just now, I've got a question mark at board level. I've got a question mark over recruitment. I've got a question mark over coaching. I've got a question mark over youth development. Now that's and I've got a question mark over the whole everything that's going on behind the scenes at the club. That's bigger than Neil Lennon. If Neil Lennon's some man and he had more power than we thought, that's Neil Lennon's fault.
No, I don't think we're going to actually put the blame on Neil Lennon for this season. As he said,
the blame goes on the people that appointed Neil Lennon. As John says, that problem a bit higher up than Lennon. Of course, when it came to the first team squad, I don't think Lennon was obviously we know he wasn't up. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't the manager. John says the problems are a bit above that. Who made the decision to appoint Lennon? Why was there a dossier applicants that they didn't even look at? Why was Davy Moyes sitting waiting on the phone call after the Scottish Cup final and never got it?
Exactly. You know, it just seems to be bad decisions throughout the club from the board, really.
When was the last time there was a new board member? I mean, obviously Dominic Mackay will need to join the board because he's CEO.
But is that going to be a problem going forward, that Dominic Mackay is going to come in and these board members are kind of still there, John, Mark?
Well, they've been there a long time. I mean, that Ian Bankier, the chairman, I don't really know what he actually does for the club, apart from being the chairman and attends board meetings where...
But is Dominic Mackay going to be able to make his own decisions, John, do you think? That DC board members, and they're so used to the peace and law, is he going to be left to make his own decisions?
I don't know anything about Dominic Mackay, but if you're looking at his CV in terms of if he's taking over, if he's going to be the money man now, if he's going to be the financial man, he's obviously not a daft man. So you would think he's done his homework before he's come into the club now. But I tell you, before he's come into the club, but I tell you, you stand back here the night and you think about. I said a few weeks ago we were having this discussion, and I thought, I don't think the rebuild's maybe as big as everybody thinks it is, but man, you're sitting here the night and I'm getting more question marks. I'm getting more questions as the week's going, and I'm getting less answers, and none more so than a management, coaching, and player point of view. Because I say, you look at that first team squad, and you would really ask yourself, who would you keep? Who Eddie for me would go the night. Rogic could go the night. Christie could go the night. You know, it would be Calmac. I'd like to.
I don't think there's one player, John, I could say tonight like that I would be confident in keeping. Like I actually could, after seeing the match, and I pushed down all season. There's not one player I would say I'd keep, and that's the honest truth. Like
when have you ever seen a Celtic team that you could have sat here and said that there's no one in them would leave and it would break your heart?
No, exactly, and it's a long time like since I said that. You know, and I was only a young lad when you were watching, when you were on about the Paul Max days and Peter Grant, but I still watched them, and I was still crying when they did when the leagues and cups. But you couldn't fault their passion, you couldn't fault their love for the club. Can't say that about that team today.
I've still not go over Larson leaving or Mike Stay hanging up his boots. But I'm looking at that team just now and I'm thinking, I mean, the other day there when we were having that conversation about legends. Do you know? How many in that team would you be thinking? Well, I hope we can. The one man I hope we can hold on to the end. The one man I would have said that about would have been Calmack. But I mean, realistically, albeit that he played more. I think Buzz said he played more minutes than anybody else in Europe the other week. There, Buzz saying he played more minutes than anybody else anywhere. So you'd maybe need to cut him a bit of slack. But he's shown us he's not showed us a lot this year either.
Would you be confident in him being captain next season, John?
I mean,
if he stayed.
If he wanted to stay, I'd be delighted. He's the one player I'd be delighted to see staying is McGregor, because Callum McGregor's a good football player. If there's bad feeling at that club just now, there's something behind the scenes that's not right, and it's dragging everybody down. It could be dragging Callum McGregor down just the same as anybody else. So for me, I would keep Callum. I'd keep Forrest, but after that, I'm struggling. Looks like Ayer wants to go. Sorrow's probably worth hanging on to. Turnbull's probably worth hanging on to. Don't know, Nelly Nussey. But I mean, Roger is away, Christie would be away for me, Griffiths would be away for me, Edward would be away the night. I would take Ed. I would go and get Ed at the night and take him down to London Road myself the night. It's
still your whole first team into John that you won't be confident to keep in. Do you know? Yep. You won't be. And I was reading some interesting post there on the live chat there as well. Is it time to start playing some youngsters now in the rest of the season? Give them a chance, get them used to the first team for the new manager coming in.
Well, why not? I wouldn't let Eddie wear the hoops again.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't play him again. I think there's people on here slaughtered Big Duffy for his games, and probably rightly so. The decision was made that Duffy wouldn't play for his game. I think somebody should make the same decision tonight about Eddie.
Exactly. Take him out. Take him out.
If there's a buyer for
John, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Paul, and thanks very much.
John, if you want to come back on later on, just let us know.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, John. It's going to be yourselves, Barry Forbes and Mark. So you're more than welcome to come on. Lads, for myself, thanks for joining on the watch along, lads. I really enjoyed it. Something that myself and Mark would look into. Mark, off to you, John.
Just like to thank you again, Chris, for everything you've done today. I couldn't have done that live chat, the live thing doing the foot.
All. Thanks, Paul.
Paul and John for joining us in.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot for having us on.
As well, and all the guys in the live chat that came on, thanks very much, and hopefully we'll catch you all about 7 o'clock tonight.
Great stuff. Right. Thanks very much, guys. God bless.
Thanks very much, lads. Thank you, John. Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye. Dinner. Chicken dinner. You'll be back on a phone, you know, Jamie boy. You met?